Jubies, here's Alexander again. Well, let's assume you are new to Warhammer 40k and you want to start Space Marines. The first thing you have to choose is, what kinds of Space Marines do I play? How do I paint them? And what army book will I use? And so on and so forth. So, the first choice will be, will you want to play existing chapter, like for example here the Dark Angels, or maybe Blood Angels, Grey Knights, or whatsoever? Then, well, this video is nothing for you, so goodbye, thanks for tuning in. But let's assume you want to create your own Space Marine chapter. Then this video is something for you. Well, you all know this is my Wings of Fury Space Marine chapter. This is a homebrew chapter of my own. And, well, I have built up them with a existing background story and origin and all that kind of stuff. But maybe you are not so familiar with a 40k background and you have basically no idea how to start to create your own Space Marine chapter. Well, guess what? I have created here a checklist for creating a Space Marine chapter. So, let's assume you have, well, painted your first Space Marine, like this one here. You have equipped him with some bits you have been laying around, and find, yeah, this is a nice color scheme. So, let's check if we can create a chapter for this particular Space Marine. First question will be, is the Primarch of this Space Marine chapter known or unknown? Meaning, are those descendants of an existing Space Marine chapter, like the Dark Angels or Blood Angels or so on, and do they know they are a descendant of them? Or, like for example the Blood Ravens, they are a Space Marine chapter created in a later founding, and no one told them what kind of Primarch they had. So, is your Primarch known or unknown? Question 2. What founding are you on? Is your Space Marine chapter from? The second founding, where the main Space Marine legions were split up into the smaller chapters. The third founding, or even far later founding, maybe the 13th or 25th or 55th or whatever founding. So, just pick one. So, what loyalty have your Space Marine chapter? Is your chapter absolutely loyal to the Emperor and the Empire of Man? Or is it a Chaos Space Marine warband? Yes. You can also use this chart here to create a Chaos Space Marine chapter. Well, or is it maybe a free chapter? Free is a very wide term in this matter. Maybe it is like, for example, the Soul Drinkers. They consider themselves still loyal to the Emperor, but not to the Imperium itself. So they are hunted by the Inquisition and other Imperial forces, but they still fight the forces of chaos and evil. So they are a free chapter. So what kind of chapter is yours? Fourth question. The theme of the chapter, is it a Codex chapter, or is it a near Codex chapter, or irregular, is it even exotic or chaotic? So that means, well, Codex chapters means they are quite close to the Codex Astartes, like for example the Ultramarines or the Imperial Fists. They are exemplary examples of a Codex chapter. There are absolutely nothing irregular at them. Or do you play a near Codex Space Marine chapter? Like for example the Dark Angels here. They are very close to the Codex Astartes in insignia and the composition of the army, but well, they have some little changes to them and are not 100% a Codex chapter. Or are they an irregular chapter, like for example the Black Templars? They don't have a structure like like the normal Codex chapter. They don't have companies. They have, well, crusades that are split up over the entire universe. Or is it even an exotic variant, like, for example, the Space Wolves that have absolutely nothing in common with any Codex chapter whatsoever? Or is it even chaotic and follows no rules at all? Next question. The background, meaning what kind of armor is your Space Marine wearing? So, what kind of Space Marine chapter you're trying to create. So, the first thing, like for example the Ultramarines, they have a clean armor, so no special insignias on them. They are absolutely well, the clean armor, and have nothing special on them. Or maybe Knight is the Knights is your basic background story. For example, the Black Templars are good examples for a Knight chapter. Or is it Viking themed, like for example the Space Wolves? Or are they monks, like for example the Dark Angels in robes? Or are they, well, basically cyborgs, a lot of them, meaning they have a lot of cybernetic implants and bionics and all that kind of stuff, like for example the Iron Hands. Then is it maybe bloody, so meaning lots of Blood Angel iconography? Well, that would suit a chapter that is a descendant from the Blood Angels. Or do you give them a hard Roman style, like the old Ultramarines with his top throttles and all that kind of stuff that, well, it has a feel like a Roman army? Or even a samurai Space Marine have been seen in in the latest history. Or is it even Indians? For example, also the Dark Angels have some iconography from Indians, or Native Americans, how you want to call them, with feathers and totems and all that kind of stuff. The old Deathwing Terminators have a lot of that. Or are they beast or demon hunters? So do they carry trophies around and all that kind of stuff that, well, shows that their background is beast hunters or demon hunters. Beast hunters, there are also Tyranid hunters and all that kind of stuff. For example, there are Tyranid hunters by the Ultramarines. So you can, for example, create an Ultramarine based chapter. So they are a descendant of the Ultramarines, especially, well, specialized in hunting Tyranids. Or is it the Chaos Gods? So do they wear Chaos God army? Well, you can also mix match them. For example, let me see here. This here, it's a work in progress. This is a mixture of a Chaos Space Marine mixed in with Space Wolf parts. So the theme of this army is chaotic Vikings. So, or is it Egyptian style, like for example the old Thousand Suns, or even African style, or pick one of your own. Maybe you can sculpt your own miniatures. You don't have to rely on on bits and parts that are out there. You create them own, make others. So, number 6, the war style of your army. Do you favor it range combat, close combat, or both? Let's pick one. So, the heraldry of your Space Marine chapter. Is it a monocolor? Is it 2 colors halved? Or is it 2 colors quartered? Or 2 colors mixed? Yeah, I guess this here is 2 colors mixed. Or 3 or more colors? Or even an eccentric scheme. Like, for example, some Chaos Space Marine warbands have very extreme color schemes, like black armor with blood dripping all over them, or lava breaking through the armor, and all that kind of stuff. So, is it eccentric? So, next, squad markings. Do you follow the Codex Astartes in the squad markings? Then have a look in the Space Marine Codex. There you find nice rules for that. Also in the Blood Angels Codex, there are rules for the Blood Angel variant of how to depict your squad markings, like with the yellow helmets for the Assault Marines and the blood drops instead of the arrows for the Tactical Marines and so on. Or is it even a Dark Angel variant? The Dark Angels have, for example, the arrow not from down to up, it's from left to right, the tactical arrow. And also they have the squad markings on the knee that shows in what squad of the company it is, and so on. Or the Black Templars, they have no company markings at all. They have two black crosses on a white background on the shoulder pads. They have also other kind of stuff. They have on the knee pad some little shields with insignia that shows at what kind of crusade they are. Or do they have no squad markings at all, so they are just chaotic? Or do you like the Space Wolves version, like this split up into Blood Claws and Long Fangs and Grey Hunters divided by some colors on the shoulder pads? Or do you want even Chaos markings on them? So that brings us to question number 9. The homeworld of your chapter. Hope you can see that. There we have it. Is your homeworld a macropole planet? Is it a moon of some sort? Is it a civilized planet? Or do you have a fleet-based chapter? Or do you have a space station chapter? Or is your chapter based on a death world or a space Hulk? Is it on a demon world or something completely different? I give you some examples. For example, space station. The Imperial Fists, they have the Phalanx. That is a big space station that is capable of making warp jumps. And they also have a fleet. So the Black Templars instead are absolutely fleet-based. Or for example the Flesh Tearers, their home is a death world. Or look at the Soul Drinkers, they have a Space Hulk as home world. So as this one's here, my Wings of Fury, they have also a Space Hulk. A Demon world that is good for a Chaos Space Marine chapter. So, your closest allies. Chaos Gods, well, are you a Chaos Space Marine army? Or the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Adeptus Minustrotum, Adeptus Sororitas, Adeptus Arbites, the Inquisition, Adeptus Terra, Pirates, Slaves, none, or something completely different. You don't have to do, well, you can basically hit none. Let's see, for example, this one here. This one has an Inquisition shoulder pad. So I'm assuming, yeah, this here could be a Space Marine chapter that is highly close bondings to the Inquisition. And maybe also Adeptus Sororitas and Adeptus Minustrotum. Or only the Inquisition. Or Terra and the Inquisition. Choose one. So, then the arch enemy. No good guy out there is nothing without his evil forces that he is fighting. Is there arch enemy chaos? All kinds of chaos, beastmen, Lost and the Damned, Chaos Space Marines, whatever. Do they fight orcs? Or mainly Tau? Necrons, Eldar, Dark Eldar, Tyranids, or even other Space Marines? Well, choose one. So, then how do they treat the Emperor? Do they treat the Emperor as a god? Or as a demigod? Or just as a superhuman? Do they treat them as father of themselves? Or do they think the Emperor is a false god? The Inquisition. What do the Inquisition think about them? Do they think they are clean? They are suspicious? They are traitors? Heretics? Well, choose one. And last but not least, you can pick your codex. Do you want an all-round army? Then Space Marine Codex is something for you. Or do you want to have them more close combat orientated? Then maybe the Black Templars, Blood Angels, or the Space Wolves is something for you. You want more of a range combat and elite forces? Then maybe Dark Angels or Grey Knights. So it's totally up to you. So let's go right over it again with my little Space Marine chapter here. So let's grab a pencil and find out who they are. I think they don't know who their Primarch is. They are basically created by the Inquisition and clean and absolutely pure, and so, well, they don't have a Primarch known. Founding, it is a later founding. Then let's say loyalty. They are absolutely loyal. So they are not a codex chapter. This is, like I said, this chapter is created by the Inquisition and run by them. Like, for example, the Grey Knights or the Executioners. They are also Inquisition type Space Marine chapters. So I would say they are exotic. They have a completely different Space Marine structure. The background, okay. I would say we make them a little bit of cyborg. So there could be some Space Marines wearing bionics and all that kind of stuff. They have a relatively clean armor. And they are demon hunters. Okay, there we have the background for them. Then the war style for them. I guess against chaos and demons and all that kind. Close combat is appropriate for them. So heraldry, I say 2 colors mixed. The yellow here on the trim, I would say, is the company marking. At what company they are in. So it's the main chapter colors are just this pale blue with blood red. Company markings are yellow. That's for the second company, for example. Then we have here the knee pad that shows, for example, the squad marking in what squad they are. So I would say this is squad markings. It's close to the Dark Angels. Squad marking. Yeah. So, the next page. The homeworld for them. I would say they have a fleet-based chapter. They are traveling around, seeking demons and chaos space marines, all that kind of stuff. So, close allies. Absolutely, the Inquisition. And let's say the Adeptus Sororitas also as witch hunters. They are close allies for them. So, their arch enemy, yes, chaos. So, the Emperor is a god. The Inquisition sees them as clean. And Codex Space Marines, I would say, yeah, I would say Space Marine Codex for them. Space Marine or Blood Angels maybe, for close combat. One of them, or Black Templars. So basically I can create now a Space Marine chapter that has the option to go with 3 different Codex books, just when I want them to. And, well, now this chapter needs a name. Now I can shoot. So, the name for the chapter is now up to you. Please tell me in the comments down below, how would you call this Space Marine chapter? Until then, you're Alexandra.